Welcome to Photon Classes Private Limited. As per many students' request, this video is being dedicated to solving problems based on previous JEE Mains and Advanced question papers. So in this video session, we will be learning a few JEE Mains and Advanced questions which are being asked from Electrostatics chapter. As a part of that, the first question which we are seeing now is asked in JEE Advanced 2019, and in this question it is been given: a thin spherical shell of radius r carries a uniformly distributed charge such that the potential on its surface is V0. Initially its potential on the surface is equal to K capital Q divided by R. A hole with small area alpha 4 pi r square alpha less than 1 is made on the shell without affecting the rest of the shell. Which of the following options are correct? You are now cross-check which of the options are correct. Now this is the total spherical shell, right? So V initial is equal to K capital Q divided by R. This is equal to V0. That is initially the total potential because of the whole spherical shell. From that, I am removing some portion. This portion removed has area alpha 4 pi r square. Now let me consider this has some charge Q. Now what is the total charge initially is capital Q. This removed portion has some charge Q. So first I should find out removed portion charge. So removed portion charge Q is equal to sigma, that is capital Q divided by 4 pi r square. This is for whole spherical shell, into area of this smaller disk part removed. It is alpha 4 pi r square. 4 pi r square gets cancelled. So Q will be equal to alpha into capital Q. That is what we have got. The charge on the removed portion, it is alpha into Q. Now let us cross check these all options. Now see, as it is JEE Advanced question, we are now checking this option. The ratio of potential at the center of the shell to the top point at 1 by 2 r from the center towards the hole will be dash. So here let us consider this distance is r by 2. This distance is r by 2. I want to now find out ratio of the potential at the center divided by potential at a distance r by 2. Okay. First let me find out potential at the center. Potential at the center, because of this hole, like with the removed portion, it will be potential due to whole spherical shell minus potential due to removed part. Right? From the whole, like before removing this portion, it has some potential V0. From that, I am subtracting the potential because we are cutting this very small part. As we are cutting this very small part, potential due to that part will be decreased at the center. So that is what VC is equal to this total. I can write VC is equal to potential on the whole sphere, it is K capital Q divided by R minus. Due to removed portion, at the center potential will be K. Charge on the removed portion is alpha Q divided by separation is R. This is equal to 1 minus alpha into KQ by R. It is V0. Now coming to potential at a distance R by 2. Potential at a distance R by 2 will be. However, for the whole spherical shell inside, total potential will be inside at any point. It will be same as it is like a center. So I will be writing it as KQ divided by R as it is minus K into alpha Q divided by, you are finding potential at a distance R by 2 from the center. So distance you need to take it as R by 2. This is equal to 1 minus 2 alpha into V0. Taking ratio of these two, VC divided by VR by 2 is equal to 1 minus alpha divided by 1 minus 2 alpha. Therefore, first option, it is exactly valid. It is 1 minus alpha divided by 1 minus 2 alpha. Option 1 is correct. Next, let us consider this second option. The potential at the center of the shell is reduced by 2 alpha V naught. Obviously, this is wrong because potential at the center, it will be reduced by a value of alpha capital Q divided by R. So this second one will be wrong option. Now the magnitude of the electric field at the center of the shell is reduced by dash. Obviously, this also will be wrong because when you are providing electric field, like for example, if I take this is a spherical shell and I am removing small portion over here. This is the small portion which has been removed. At the center initially, before removing, E initial is equal to 0 because it is shell. Inside there is no charge, so electric field inside will be 0. As you are removing some part from here, there will be an identical part which is exactly situated at this position. Okay. Now this become part 1, this become part 2. 1 and 2 are identical. So at every element there is an opposite element in part 2. Part 1 of every element has equal and identical element in part 2. Therefore, total field produced because of part 1 and part 2 gets cancelled with each other. What is left over here? This is already removed. And what is left over here? Only this portion is left over. This part, I'm sorry. So whatever the removed portion is there, like here we are removing some part. Exactly identical to that, there will be some portion here. Because of only this portion, there is electric field at the center which is non-zero. Right? Initially electric field is 0. Now because of this part, electric field is increased rather than decreased. So electric field E will be equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Charge on this remaining part will be alpha into Q divided by separation is R whole square. This is equal to K Q into alpha divided by R square. This is nothing but KQ by R is equal to V naught. V naught into alpha divided by R. So potential increases by a value of V naught alpha by R. So like that we can cross check these all options. Of course, this one has only one correct answer. It is number 1. Coming to the next question. In this, you have 2 point charges Q1 whose magnitude is under root 10 microcoulomb and Q2 minus 25 microcoulomb are placed on x-axis at a distance 1 meter and 4 meter respectively. The electric field in volt per meter at a point y is equal to 3 meter on y-axis. Now this is y-axis, this is x-axis. You are being given 2 point charges. Q1 is equal to, its magnitude is root 10 microcoulomb and its magnitude is minus 25 microcoulomb. And these are placed at a distance of 1 meter, this length. This is 1 meter given and this length is 4 meter given. Now you should find out electric field at this point, which is at a distance of 3 meter on y-axis. So on y-axis it is this point P. I want to now find out electric field because of this 2 charges. So in order to find out the electric field, as you know that when we are dealing with electric field is vector quantity. Therefore, field due to this positive charge will be in this direction. As positive charge, field will be extended outward. This is because of the positive charge. And The other one is negative charge. Field because of negative charge will be in this direction. Because it is negative, field is directed inward. This is E1 or E plus, and this is E minus. Angle between these two is this. This is the angle between two. This length is 3 meter and this length is 4 meter, of course. It is 3 and this is 4. Obviously, this will be 5. As it is 3 and this is 4, obviously this should be definitely 5. And this angle will be 37 degrees and this angle will be 53 degrees. Right? This angle is 53. I need to check out the angle between these two. Right? E1 and E2. So simply in order to find out electric field at this point P, I want to find out electric field at this point P. So at that point we have two fields, E plus and E minus. Net field, in order to find out that, you will be using parallelogram law of vectors just by taking this angle over there. Or you can even resolve E plus into its components, E minus into its components. So that will be very easy. So E plus, there is one component. If I take this as angle theta 1, it will be E plus cos theta 1. And in this direction, it will be E plus sine theta 1. Next, coming because of the second one, we have electric field in this direction. So if I take angle, this angle as 53, it is given. It will be E minus cos 53 and this is E minus sine 53. Right? Now E along x-axis, along x direction, it is E minus sine 53 minus of E plus sine theta 1. I should find out that value. Along y direction, we have E plus cos theta 1 minus of E minus cos 53. Right? You can find out this theta 1. Obviously, this is the angle theta 1. Length along it is 3 meter and this is 1 meter. You can find out this theta. So I can write cos theta 1 is equal to 3 divided by 1. Sin theta 1 can be written as 1. Cos theta will be length from here to here, it is under root 3 square plus 1 square. It will be under root 3 square is 9 plus 1 10 under root 10 cos theta 1. Sin theta 1 will be 1 by root 10. Now substituting those values over here, E plus and E minus values also. E plus will be equal to K into charge. Charge because it is root 10, I am taking over there. And the separation it is root 10. That is E plus. Electric field due to this negative charge over here, obviously it is 5. This will be K into minus 25 microcoulomb, however, divided by separation is 5. And this is whole square. Of course, this is whole square. Taking these values over here, E x will be equal to E minus. It is K into 5 square is 25, 25 gets cancelled. So it is K into 10 power minus 6 into sine 53 minus of E plus, it is K root 10 in the numerator and root 10 here gets cancelled. It is K divided by root 10 into 10 power minus 6 into sine theta 1, that can be 3 root 10. This is along x-axis. Similarly, along y-axis, I can write even sine 53 also. Sine 53 can be written as 4 divided by 5. This I am writing it as 4 divided by 5. Next, coming to EY. because of this positive charge, it is k by root 10 into 10 power minus 6 into cos theta 1. It is 3 divided by root 10 minus of e minus is k into 10 power minus 6 and cos 53, it will be 3 divided by 5. This total, it is in y-axis. So you can simply now ex and ey, you can evaluate them, and finally you can find out E net is equal to under root ex whole square plus ey whole square. Substituting that ex and ey in the net formula, you will be getting finally electric field at that particular point. Students, coming to one more question. This is previously asked JEE mains question, which is in 2019. We have three charges plus Q, Q and plus Q, which are placed respectively from the origin as shown in the figure at a distance d by 2 and as well as d. Now you should find out, like, if net force experienced by plus Q charge placed at x is equal to 0 is 0, then the value of Q. You should find out the value of small q. It is mentioned that the net force experienced by this charged particle plus Q is 0. Okay. And that is possible only if, see here, now let me plot force vectors. This is plus Q and this is plus Q. As both are positive charges, force will be marked outward, that is F1. And in order to cancel this, the charge which is over there should be negative, and that should be in this direction. Okay, this is F1 and this is F2. F1 is force due to plus Q at D. F2 is force due to Q at D by 2, which is at D by 2. Remember, F net on Q will be 0 if Q is negative. This is one thing you should remember. But however, as we know, it is mentioned in the problem, F net is equal to 0. I'll take that as the reference and I'll write down. F net is equal to 0 mean F1 plus F2 should be equal to 0. Then F1 is equal to minus F2. What is F1? It is K capital Q square divided by D square, which is equal to minus F2. It is K capital Q small q divided by D by 2 whole square. K and K gets cancelled, Q and Q gets cancelled. What is left over here? D from here, D square and D square gets cancelled over there. What is left over here? Capital Q is equal to minus of small q, and D square is 4, that comes over here. Right? It is equal to Q divided by 1 by 4. So it will be 4Q. So Q is equal to minus of capital Q divided by 4. This is the charge. So Q is equal to minus Q by 4 is the charge placed at that point, so that net force acting on it will be equal to 0. Coming to the next question. This is also JEE mains question, which is asked in 2019. Two infinite planes, each of uniform surface charge density plus sigma, are kept in such a way that the angle between them is 30 degrees. The electric field in the region shown between them is given by dash. You are supposed to find out electric field in between them. For that, let me choose one particular point. I'll be choosing this point as the reference. I want to find out electric field at this position. Now, as it is positive charge, this is positive and this is also positive. So when we are dealing with positive charges, definitely electric field will be pointed outward. So from here, there is electric field pointed outward like this because of this inclined surface. Next, coming to the other one, it is plus Q over here, and this will be extending its field upward, right? And it is been mentioned in the reference like x-axis and y-axis are given to you. It is mentioned over there. I'm indicating that as x and y here in the diagram. This is x-axis and this is y-axis, of course, x minus x, and this is y, and angle mentioned is 30 degrees in this case. This is 30. Obviously this angle will be 30 degrees. Next, if this angle is 30 degrees, then this angle will be 60, of course. So we don't need that angle. You need to now check up this angle, because this is one vector, like it is E1 and this is E2. E2 is vertically upward. We do not have any problem with that because it is along y-axis. E1 is in the plane. It is neither along x-axis nor in y-axis. Now this angle would be 60 degrees. Obviously, you can check it from the figure clearly. So E1, I will resolve it into components. It is E1 cos 60 and this is E1 sin 60. Okay. So along x-axis we have Ex, which is equal to electric field due to this first one. It is E1 cos 60. But what is E1? E1 is the electric field, and that electric field is due to charge density sigma. It is sigma divided by 2 epsilon naught into cos 60. Let me take this as equation number 1. That is along x-axis. Next, along y-axis, we have E2 minus of E1 sin 60, right? But what is E2? E2 is equal to sigma divided by 2 epsilon naught minus E1. E1 is in downward direction, so that's the reason why I'm taking it as negative. E1 is sigma by 2 epsilon naught into sin 60. It is root 3 divided by 2. Now electric field in the region, total net electric field E is equal to Ex, that is sigma divided by 2 epsilon naught into cos 60. It is 1 by 2. This is along x-axis, I cap, plus along y direction, it is sigma divided by 2 epsilon naught into 1 minus root 3 divided by 2, and this is along j cap, right? This is net vector. As a result, you can write E is equal to sigma by 2 epsilon naught. As a whole, I can take it common, and this will be I cap by 2 plus it is 2 minus root 3 divided by 2. I'm sorry, because these are in different directions, right? So I'll take this as 2 minus root 3 by 2 j cap. Okay. So I and j, you should represent it with x and y, because in the reference it is given as x and y. So E will be equal to sigma divided by 2 epsilon naught into x divided by 2 plus 2 minus root 3 divided by 2 into y. This will be the final answer which you can tally from those options. This is electric field at the electric field in between these two plates. Sorry students, one small mistake I have made. Ex, it is negative, right? X-axis, it is negative. It is going opposite to that of x. So therefore, here you will get one minus. And here you will get one minus. Here you will get 1 minus. Now this E will be valid. E will be exactly identical to this option B. That will be the final answer for this. Students, in this slide, we are going to learn one simple example based on applications of Gauss law, because I did not solve many numericals on Gauss law in the video lectures. So I'll be explaining this as a part of that. So we have a cube. This cube has side A. Each side is A. Now there is one charge placed inside this total surface. Okay. When you are dealing with this as this cube, it is of this cube has volume V. Each side is A, and this charge which is placed over here, it is enclosed. So therefore, I can find out electrical flux inside the cube. Flux inside is equal to Q enclosed divided by epsilon naught. What is charge enclosed here? It is Q divided by epsilon naught. This is total flux inside the conducting. Flux passing through this cube, not inside exactly. You can simply write it as flux through this cube. Okay. Total flux. You can check it up. See, when you have this positive charge, from this positive charge, field will be going in this direction. Field will be extended in this direction. Field will be extended in this direction. Field will be extended in this direction. In all directions, field is being extended three-dimensionally. So flux will be passing through each surface. Totally 6 surfaces we have. So throughout those all, electric field is being extended. Therefore, total flux through this cube will be equal to Q divided by epsilon naught, because charge enclosed is Q. Now let us find out flux through one phase. Only through one particular phase. Okay. Now throughout this total cube, as cube has 6 phases, from one phase I want to find out. So if you want to find out through one phase, I'll represent it with another color. You can clearly understand that only this flux which is passing through this phase I am calculating, which is being represented with green color. Only this flux coming through this phase A, B, C, D. Okay. What is flux passing through total cube? It is Q by epsilon naught. Then flux passing through each phase should be divided by 6, right? So it will be Q divided by 6 epsilon naught. That is from any phase. It can be any phase. This is total flux passing through each single phase. It is Q by 6 epsilon naught. This is one simple example depending on Gauss law. Now let us take one more example. Students, let me take one more example. We have a cube. Previously in the first example, I have took charge Q inside the total cube. But now I am placing that charge on one of the face, right? Now here, as clearly you can see that in the figure, Q is not enclosed. This charge Q, it is not enclosed in this cube, right? It is just in the face. Therefore, Gauss law could not be applied here because charge is not enclosed. So in order to enclose this, what should I do? I should construct one more cube which should enclose this particular charge Q, so that I am now constructing one more cube here. Okay, now this is one more cube I am constructing. This is Gaussian surface, right? Now this also has some same, like it is identical to the first cube. Now Q is enclosed, is it not? If in order to, I'll write it like this: in order to enclose charge Q, I construct another cube. Now from this total cube there will be flux passing through, but sides are not equal. This become cuboid. Okay, from this charge Q there will be flux in this direction, there will be flux in this direction, and upward. In all these directions there will be flux, but I want to find out only flux through this cube. Okay, so as from this charge Q, field is extended in this direction and in this direction, but this is not necessary for us. Only field which is passing through this green color cube is required for us. So only half of the total flux passing through this cube through this charge will be passing through this cube. As a result, I can write flux phi will be equal to Q divided by 2 epsilon. Hope you have understood. This charge is exactly on the face of the cube. Now this charge is sharing its field to both the cubes, left side and as well as right side, but we are finding only flux through this green color cube. That is the reason why only half of the flux is extended through this cube. Therefore half flux is being shared over here, that means Q by 2, and this side it will be Q by 2. So simply out of the total flux I am dividing this into half, so that it will be Q by 2 times epsilon naught. So flux from here will be Q by 2 epsilon naught, flux from here will be Q by 2 epsilon naught. So totally flux from only this cube will be Q by 2 epsilon naught. Likewise, you can have one more example. Now let us take one more example. We have a cube. Now charge is placed at vertex of the cube. In the first case, charge is at the center. In the second case, charge is at the face. And in the third case, charge is at the vertex. Now this charge is not enclosed by this single cube. So in order to enclose this, I need 8 such cubes to enclose it. Right? This is 1, 2. I need 8 such cubes. Okay, these are 4, which is back. Now coming to front, there will be 4 more cubes. Right? So this charge Q is sharing the total flux by these 8 cubes. Therefore, I can write from Gauss law, pi will be equal to Q divided by epsilon naught. But how many cubes are there here? 8 cubes. Therefore, it will be Q by 8 epsilon naught from each cube. It's very simple example. So if we are finding flux passing through only this black color cube, but as we do not apply, as we cannot apply Gauss law for this, because Q charge is not enclosed. In order to enclose this, we need 8 such cubes. So from each cube, it will be sharing 8th portion of the flux. Therefore, flux through each cube is equal to Q divided by 8 epsilon naught. Likewise, this is one example. Similarly, one more example, like you have a circular area where here it is plus Q charge Q1 minus Q2 and minus Q3, and here we have charge Q4 and here minus Q5. Right? Now flux passing through this area through this circular loop. So total flux pi will be equal to Q net divided by epsilon naught. Pi will be equal. What is net charge inside this? It is plus Q1 minus Q2 minus Q3 divided by epsilon naught. This is the total flux enclosed. So as charge enclosed only, you need to take this minus Q5 and Q4 is useless because it is not enclosed by this surface area. So that is the reason why only those charges which are enclosed in the surface area I am considering in Gauss law. So Q enclosed will be plus Q1 minus Q2 minus Q3 by epsilon naught.